What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that Teej pack. Teej makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Teej Henley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teej Henley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Teej Henley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a Dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Teej Henley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a Dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Teej pack. Feel the Teej, my friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. Shout out to all of my white people who caught that L yesterday, and then they tried to use what they thought was their privilege in order to make an impact. Well, what we wind up doing is we wind up recruiting. I'll tell you a little bit about it in a minute. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I appreciate you. Shout out to my dog Kojak for holding me down. We love you. We absolutely, positively love you. It's going to be a phenomenal show today. I promise you that. So if you have not shared this with your friends and family, make sure you do so because I promise you, we are going to get into it. It's going to be some incredible things that we go over. And then hopefully I can add a little bit of value into you because we're going to definitely get to the money. We're going to get to the entertainment, and we're going to get to all of the fun things that allows for us to really, really validate ourselves as the best morning show on the face of the earth. So it is Wednesday, May 24th, 2023, year of our Lord. And we are in a great space, and life is good, and things are awesome. And I got my Rolex on, and I made how much did I make a deposit for? $4,700. Somebody had gave me they rent for 2 properties. Them and then their friends are renting the property, and so they paid me cash yesterday, and so it came to $4,700. So I made a deposit early this morning, but I'm gonna get into that. First and foremost, let me go ahead and give a shout out to the sponsor of the show, Teej Henley. 30% off your first order plus a free gift. If you are not a Teej pack, if you don't have your Teej pack, then we got a problem. If you getting your Teej pack from anywhere else except for here, using a link in the description to get 30% off your first order plus a free gift, we have a problem. If you are a bag chaser, shout out to my Patreon members. We got a lot of response. It looked like New York might be bigger than it was than we did it in Dallas. Now, Dallas, we shut the whole venue down. It was to capacity, and the bag chasers ran it up. We had a good time. We had music, vibes, good drinks, fun, speeches, networking. I brought my dog Charleston White through. It was an absolute hoot of a time. It looked like New York because we did New York last year, and New York was lit. New York was popping. But we got more Patreon members this year. So if you are a bag chaser and you have not checked the Patreon, let me know if you pulling up to the New York meetup. And I definitely gave you enough leeway for you to actually be able to confirm whether or not you're going to come up and out. And for the people that like to travel, because we had a lot of people that traveled into Dallas, let me know what's happening. I'm going to be there. Rita going to be there. Q going to be there. And then I might have some friends pull up also. But if you are a bag chaser, make sure that you pull up to the New York meetup. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Also, comedy show, June 9th, 2023, here at the Garden Theater. I got my dog Charleston White and a lot of other comedians. I'm going to be there. My friend's going to be there. If you have not gotten your tickets, that link is in the description. Make sure that you pull up so that you can have a phenomenal time and hang out with your boy. It's going to be lit. So shout out to my dog Charleston. That's going to be absolutely awesome. I'm going to read the super chats. Just want to make sure that we get all of the housekeeping out of the way. Make sure you got your teeth, your teeth brushed, your hair combed, no do-rags. Make sure you get up and you're taking care of business today because we're not fumbling the bag. We're not fumbling the bag. It is no fumbles on Wednesday hump day. All right. So let's get it popping. Tongue twisters today. Let me see what's happening. I see my baby girl was here. I see my baby girl, Paulie. We did a whole live stream about you yesterday. I made a lot of money yesterday talking about you. I'll get to that in a minute. Shout out to Kojak holding things down, making sure that we remove all of the stuff. Anton, don't forget, told hold white men accountable today. I did that yesterday. Did you miss the show yesterday? Johnny Mathis Jr. Did you miss the show yesterday? You got to go and watch the show. The name of the show was called Powerless. Make sure you go and check out that show. It was absolutely, positively incredible. It was awesome. It was very, very phenomenal. But before we get into the show, because I want to talk about Naia Jackson, Derek Jackson, we got this Indian investor who we need to bring to the front of the congregation. See, it's not just black people. It's a lot of different people that's out here doing some crazy stuff. We got an Indian investor who we need to bring to the front of the congregation. What else we got popping off? We got something else. Ron DeSantis is running for president. Ronnie boy is running for president. Shout out to Ron DeSantis. I actually really, really like Ron DeSantis. So let me get y'all up here on the big screen to make sure that I can see y'all and I can acknowledge y'all without having to look down at my computer. Let me get y'all up here on an 85-inch, and then we're going to get that popping off. But Ronnie boy is running for president. So I want to get y'all thoughts on that and see what's popping on that. Lots of things to get into today. So we got a full show, not a half show, a full show. But before we get into it, as you guys know, that I was speaking specifically to my poor whites yesterday. We don't discriminate over here on the Millionaire Morning Show. We give credit where credit is due. I have some phenomenal white friends that hit me up and said, yo, Anton, that show yesterday was hilarious. You holding the poor whites accountable was probably one of the funniest things that I've ever seen in my entire life. And I thought it was hilarious myself also. Obviously, we got a round of applause from the chat yesterday, but absolutely hilarious, inspired by one of my sons on here on the internet. See, I get hate all over from all sectors. It's not just one sector. I get hate from all over, but we like that, right? Because it's promotion, and I'm going to tell you how we turned a negative into a positive and then another positive into a positive, right? So I was talking about poor whites yesterday, and then I had a conversation with a couple of my rich white friends who thought it was absolutely hilarious because they separate themselves from who they identify as people that's not going in the direction that they going in. So the poor whites were feeling some type of way as a result. Hey, and moderators, go ahead and handle it. I'm not even going to entertain this today. Go ahead and handle it. We're just going to put a cap on this thing in this monologue, right? So we were talking to the poor whites in the morning, and then they felt a certain type of way, and so they let me know what their voice was like, right? And I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was absolutely funny. And then this morning, as I was making deposits, and I'll show you, I got, a couple people straggled in. They wanted to pay their rent early. So I made a couple deposits, dropped off some money because we bag chasing over here, and we got the bag, uh, millionaire status, documented, beautiful. Hold on. Because I don't really take cash, but I went ahead and took cash this time. So, if you look at the pendings, let me see if I can get that up for y'all. We made a couple deposits early this morning. Can we get that up? That's Patreon. Can we get that up? Is it possible to get those deposits up? Neither here nor there. We made a couple deposits. It was what it was. We don't have to substantiate ourselves for a certain demographic of people, right? And I seen a young lady that was walking down the street, and she was a white girl. And here in downtown Detroit, we got a major university, it's Wayne State University, prominent school. And she had her little backpack on, and she had, I guess, her little Wayne State thing on her backpack or whatever like that. And she looked a little hungry, right? Because she was kind of straggling, but she was a really young white girl. And I said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm okay. Just a little tired." I said, "Oh, okay. Well, here's $5. Go ahead and get yourself something nice." Because I give out money every single morning. For people that are unfamiliar, I actually donate and I give money to different people that I just run into in the morning time. Sometimes they're less fortunate. Sometimes they're just college students. Sometimes they're regular people. But every morning I tend to give out money. So I gave her $5 or whatever like that. And then I asked her, I said, what are you studying? And she said she wasn't sure yet, but she's probably going to go into something related to liberal arts. And I said, okay, well, good luck, right? Good luck. I hope everything works out for you. So I sent her on her way. But I felt bad. I genuinely felt bad. Now, everybody knows, again, I rock with people based off of character and not based off of the color of your skin, right? And so being that I'm objective in that way, we all can be equal accountability partners. And you know that I don't like basket weaving degrees, for example. Anything that's not STEM related, anything that doesn't allow for you to be, and it doesn't mean that she's not going to be successful, but the odds are against her, based off of who it is and what she looked like. She looked like the type of person, because we all stereotype over here. She looked like the type of person that probably was to the hilt in her eyeballs with student loans. She was out there struggling. I went ahead and gave her $5. She did not accept. She looked like she was a struggling college student. And then she's going into liberal arts. And so we know that liberal arts don't really pay that much. But isn't it wild to be in a position to where I'm rich and I have to help out a poor white folk, right, in my home city that I was born and raised in? Statistics are telling us that I'm not supposed to be successful. However, I'm helping out my poor whites the same way that I help out my poor blacks. And I felt bad for her because I know that based off of the decisions that she's making, it's a strong possibility that she's going to be lower to middle class at best, suffering as a result of the decisions that we see happening in our political arenas and running in the victim Olympics the same way that I see black people running in the victim Olympics. And so I just got to call it what it is, right? And then yesterday, it's funny because it kind of coincides with the whole live stream that I did yesterday, because when people were coming over during my live stream and it was like, oh, yeah, whatever, I'm mad at you, blah, 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 because, you held us accountable as though you special. And then it's funny because I always tell y'all, embrace the negativity because all of it is positivity. And so what we wind up doing, because I wound up getting 2 emails last night. And when I checked them this morning, and it was like, yo, I came over there to troll you, but I realized that you actually got some great content, so I had to subscribe so that I can rock with you. And so we were able to pluck out some poor whites out of that whole thing in order to be able to help them get to the bag. Now, hopefully they join the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat so that they can get this work and then they can stop running in the Victim Olympics and they can level up like everybody else. But opportunities are everywhere. We just have to make sure that you don't entertain the nonsense, right? You don't stoop to their level. You don't stoop to their level. You just make sure that you take advantage of the opportunities that come along with it, right? Make sure that you take advantage of the opportunities that come along with it. Remember this, y'all. In order for them to come over here and even have a conversation in the chat, they got to subscribe. I told y'all at the last meetup. I told y'all at the last meetup. They gonna pay to see you win. They gonna pay to see you lose, but make sure that they pay you. They're going to pay to see you. I just posted on Twitter, and this is inspiration to my people. I literally just posted this yesterday on Twitter. Before the live stream. If y'all not following me on Twitter, make sure y'all follow me. I said, if you have people you've never met in real life obsessed about you online and losing sleep, waking up to see you, you're blessed. Embrace that shit. You're blessed. See, we got a poor black in there that's completely in their feelings in the same way that we got poor whites in their feelings. It all comes back to the same thing. It all comes back to the exact same thing. Capitalization, making money, making sure that you continue to run that bag up, and being in a position of power. Because you're talking to a group of people that can do nothing but complain and is powerless. They are powerless. They're whining. Whenever you see a bunch of grown men whining, begging for you to give them some attention and affection, they got daddy issues. They never had a strong presence in their household to tell them to stop bitching and complaining and man the fuck up. And what do you care about what another grown man think about you? Go get your money. Why you walking around with a vest on with your taco meat out, looking like the Crow with dreads on, knowing that you can't even get a job? You should be more concerned about getting a job than worrying about a rich man talking about you and giving you game about how it is that you need to level up. Your father should have taught you that. I'm not the person that should be having this conversation. Your father should teach you that. I'm not the person that should be having a conversation. Yo, listen, whenever you observe a man getting pulled out of his car with his cloth seats that just so happened to be white when the system was supposed to be built for him by his forefathers, from the looks of their teeth, they haven't had a dentist appointment in a long time. What makes you think that they have any power over you? They have nothing but hope. The same thing that Obama sold them in 2008, and they fell for it. These same people actually voted for Obama. They have no license, no registration, no nothing. Nothing. They don't have a father that loves them. They don't have a mother that don't give a fuck about them. And it's a strong possibility that their mother is on government assistance. They girls is for the street. What are y'all tripping about? They are at the bottom of the barrel. Let them live. Let them fight with each other. Let the pigs roll around in the mud. And then eventually, some of them will come over and they'll straggle along and they'll realize that they are at the bottom of the barrel. And then what happens is you wind up recruiting them and then you get them together, you clean them up, you dust them off so they ain't dusty no more. And then they become a bag chaser. So shout out to the people that realized that they was dusty. Again, and we're going to go ahead and put a seal on this thing because we got bigger fish to fry and we got greatness to achieve. Poor whites get no better treatment than people that are running in the victim Olympics being poor blacks. Okay, Pumpkin? So y'all got y'all 3 minutes of shame, not fame, 3 minutes of shame. I'll run along. Keep it moving before I get mad. Make sure you got your car insurance together so you don't get arrested next time, okay? All right, so now let's get into the show, okay? Which one do we want to go into first? Make sure you get that Teach Hanley 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Shout out to Mike, that dude with the early cash app, the big ball, said, I'm going to hold you down forever, Anton. And we're going to get into it. All right, so first and foremost, Ron DeSantis. Now, I don't want you conservatives out here getting divided, okay? I don't want you conservatives out here getting divided. And the reason I don't want you to get divided is because I don't want you to get distracted, right? Distraction is literally the playbook for liberals and the left-leaning people, okay? Distractions are the playbook for left-leaning people. Now, what does that mean? For a long time, what we've seen is that they keep you easily distracted with issues and problems and things that's not truly affecting what it is that you have and what you got going on in your life. Abortion. Who it is that's in a national election, right? Having you think that reparations is important when you could have already gotten rich as a result of it. Shout out to Whoopi Rock. I'm definitely going to be reading Super Chat shortly. It's so many different things that keep you distracted, and you don't have to require anything from your elected officials. As a matter of fact, I would even do you one better and say that the local elections much more important than the national elections. However, we see a bigger turnout for the national elections than we see at your local precincts or your local voting polls, right? But Ron DeSantis is running for president, and where it's being announced that is on Twitter. Now, we've seen this playbook happen with Tucker Carlson. A lot of conservatives are starting to go over to Twitter. People are absolutely positively aligning themselves with Elon Musk. I don't know if it's because Elon Musk is putting together a super PAC in order to make sure that these people get elected or whatever like that, but he is expected either today or tomorrow or very soon in the future. Is being reported that Ron DeSantis, which I think that he's absolutely excellent, and I love the fact that he even took on Disney. Ron DeSantis is expected to run for president of the United States, and he's supposed to be announcing it specifically on Twitter. So I'm curious as to what you guys think. Let's go ahead and get into the show. Let's deep dive into it. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. If you have not already, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let's get it popping, ladies and gentlemen.
I am here today to announce my candidacy for President of the United States.
Today, I proudly announce my candidacy for President of the United States of America.
I'm running for President of the United States. There's no turning back.
I stand before you today to announce my candidacy for President of the United States of America.
I am officially running for President of the United States.
Today I'm announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
Presidential campaign announcements have a kind of rhythm. The candidate gets in front of the camera or a podium, as you just saw, outlines their credentials, and announces they're throwing their proverbial hat into the ring. But NBC News has learned Ron DeSantis will not take this route. No, instead, the Florida governor, who has been unofficially campaigning for months, will make his official announcement tomorrow on Twitter Spaces, the site's audio platform. Back with us tonight, Basil Schmeichel, Democratic strategist and former executive director of the New York State Democratic Party, and strategist Shermichael Singleton. He's worked on 3 Republican presidential campaigns and hosts Sirius XM's Urban View. And perhaps he's advising someone now. Shermichael will not tell us.
Just going to throw that out there.
Shermichael, yeah.
So let me ask y'all a question as we get into this, right? Because I think that y'all looking at this the wrong way. And I could tell y'all already emotional, and y'all should not be emotional. I see Greatness to Work, who is a person that I love having here, is emotional, saying, I want nothing to do with DeSantis, leave his ass in Florida. And why would you say that? Why? Because you know we about to ramp up from a political perspective over here on the Millionaire Morning Show. Why are you feeling some type of way about DeSantis? And then why would you allow yourself to be divided instead of just getting the insight and information based off of whatever policy that he presents and how it is that he communicates inside of the debates in order to make an informed decision as to whether or not you should be rocking with him as far as voting for him for president? Just curious. This is what they're looking for, is division instead of a civil discussion and a debate. People, do not be emotional about your decisions. Lean into logic. Think. Don't make emotional decisions. Just curious. Why are you guys so emotional when it comes to having conversations about who should be president from a conservative perspective? Just curious. Remove the emotion. Just because you like one candidate specifically doesn't mean that you have to hate a completely different candidate. Let's continue.
You know, well, in case you want to break news, we are here for it. I'm sure Stephanie Roll would approve. Look, Twitter is not real life. So what is behind this strategy? What's your take on it?
I don't
Twitter is real life, but let's continue.
Understand it. When I first read this earlier today, I thought to myself, one of the first things you want with an announcement is the image, the backdrop of your candidate on every major newspaper in the country, every local newspaper, specifically in those primary states. If you're Ron DeSantis and you're behind Donald Trump by 30+%, you look at Real Clear Politics average, he's technically tied with President Biden, although Biden has the advantage. Trump is actually 1.4% ahead of President Biden, according to RCP average. So in my thought process, I'm thinking, what in the world are his strategists advising him? This, to me, doesn't make sense. I like Elon Musk, successful business entrepreneur, but when I think about how does this translate to moving voters in Iowa, then New Hampshire, then South Carolina, and the other states to follow, I don't see that connection, Simone.
Here's the problem with a lot of these old guards, is that we're still relying on the things of yesteryear and the tools of yesteryear in order to validate what it is that we're saying are talking points, but it does not resonate. Because if Trump proved anything to you guys when he first became president, it's that he proved literally that you cannot trust polls, pundits, political strategists at all, because they don't truly have a pulse on the people. You know, the interesting thing about this whole thing is that I've never been actually contacted. I've never been contacted. Not one time in order to get some insight on where it is that I stand on my political views, who I was voting for, if I campaigned or you know, stood tall in order to advocate for somebody to become president, who I've donated to. Where are they getting these numbers from? And why do we rely so heavily on pundits and talking points? I would advocate for DeSantis because I think that in my personal experience with him, he's done an excellent job. Twitter is real life. Social media, especially for the overwhelming majority of Americans, is more real than real life. Okay, if social media isn't real life, then how come the majority of the time that you actually shoot your shot with a chick is in her DMs? If social media isn't a real thing, then how come literally some of the biggest tech companies in the world are based off of social media? Why is overwhelmingly the marketing campaigns and the marketing dollars spent not on traditional TV, not in person, not on flyers, but it's on social media? How come you are so easily influenced based off of what you see people post on Instagram? How come it was so important and people were whining so much about Elon Musk buying Twitter if it didn't mean anything? How come Elon Musk released the Twitter files that actually showed that liberals and left-leaning people suppressed what it was that was happening and was censoring people that was on the right? If it doesn't mean anything, then how come all of these things amongst a bunch of other things is just as important? Y'all need to pay attention to what the hell is going on out here. Y'all need to pay attention to what the hell is going on out here. Twitter is real. Let me tell you something. Social media is more real than you think. When most people that I know that hire people, the first thing that they do is they go over to their social media and try to understand exactly who it is. How you market yourself is absolutely going to resonate with whoever it is that you present yourself to. The first thing that a woman does when you meet her and you walk away from her, if she has any information on you, is she looks you up on social media so that she can stay in contact with you. Most of the time when you talk to a person at the bar, whether it's you just networking, having a good time, or you talking to a woman, most of the time you don't exchange regular phone numbers, you exchange social media profiles. If it's not a real thing, then why is Tucker Carlson foregoing the possibility of making $20 million per year in order to go and launch his platform on Twitter? If it's not a real thing, why did Tesla get rid of their whole marketing and PR department in order to just have Elon Musk tweet all day in order to not only save money but to resonate more effectively with the people? If it's not a real thing, why was you so desperate in order to get a blue check? I'm telling you that social media is a huge thing. Barack Obama, to his credit, recognized the impact of social media before anybody politically before him, and he galvanized voters and people that donate, even on the smallest level, on a grassroots level, back in 2008 when he first got elected, to mobilize on social media, which is largely the way in which he got elected in the first place. He was able to resonate with a group of people that they didn't even know existed because they didn't think that it was a real thing. It's real. If it's not real, then how come if you look at what it was that I deposited last month and this month, and it's all in the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat, how come I'm making over 6 figures a month just off of AdSense alone off of 2 channels? If it ain't real. Because the money is fucking real. I can tell you that much. The impact is real. I can tell you that much. We see people get canceled every single day from just doing false accusations. The woman that was pulling the bike out that actually showed that she had paid for the bike, yeah, she just raised over $120,000 for GoFundMe because people realized that she wasn't actually a Karen. She was a real person. Social media is a real thing. Don't think for 1 second that it's not.
You know, I think Basil, yes. Basil is with it. I mean, look, I think that Basil, the reality here is seems very online. Shermichael talked about Elon Musk. He is reportedly joining Ron DeSantis for this announcement. But is the Elon Musk constituency really that meaningful in the states Shermichael mentioned? New Hampshire, Iowa, South Carolina. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know if it's the Elon Musk
reading super chat shortly
constituency per se, but I think Ron DeSantis is doing this on Twitter because Donald Trump's not there. He's on another platform, he's got his own sort of social media.
These guys know nothing about social media. They should not even be a part of anybody's marketing campaign or campaign managers if you do not understand and have not successfully navigated through social media.
Platform, and he was on another cable network at a town hall. So for Ron DeSantis, this is an opportunity for him to have a platform to himself, at least for this short period of time, to be able to make this announcement. And there's still a lot of, I think, Republican Trumpists that are still on Twitter. He will get some kind of an audience, but I think to Shermichael's point, Ultimately, the voters may not really remember this unless there's a big gaffe, and that could very well happen. Maybe something goes wrong with social media and it goes down, and then he's done. So maybe we'll remember it for ways that he didn't intend. But ultimately, as Shermichael said, you got to meet the voters where they are. And he probably should have done something very public, like a town hall or like a big rally to show a sign of strength, as we always say.
These people know nothing. They literally know nothing. They know nothing. Be careful who it is that you're listening to. Let me give you my experience of what it is of why I like DeSantis. Doesn't mean that I don't like Trump, and I'll have obviously to make a very hard decision prior to you actually seeing the national election and whoever it is that come out of the Republican Party, because I'm definitely not voting for Biden. And shout out to all of y'all that actually got Biden elected. Y'all wouldn't admit it, but we know who y'all are. The interesting thing about it is that I remember during the pandemic, and I know that a lot of us have really, really short memories, but let's be real. During the pandemic, I had the opportunity, especially considering that my daughter was younger, still in middle school specifically, if I remember correctly. But yeah, my daughter was younger, and so what we did was we moved to Florida because everything in Michigan, and I absolutely positively despise Governor Whitmer here in Michigan. For some reason, people did not learn their lesson from when they had Jennifer Granholm as their governor the first time, but I absolutely despised Whitmer and how a lot of these liberal-leaning governors were managing what was happening during the pandemic. What we found out was that states had more power on an individual level than the federal government that essentially was overseeing is just really plowing out money and dividing up money depending on the relationships and ensuring certain people got elected. I seen that it was a finesse. I seen these governors basically pivot and lock out any kind of opportunity for Trump to do certain things for the people because they weren't united on a whole front, but they separated themselves as an opportunity in order to get Biden elected. How incentivized were they to do that? How much the states received as a result of it? Who can fucking know, right? We don't know what these backroom deals were. But the one thing that I do remember is that I got the hell up out of Michigan and I moved to Florida. And it just so happened to be during the winter. Perfect time. New Year's Eve, it was like 80 degrees. Christmas, it was absolutely awesome. I packed up my family and I took a car down to Florida and we just went and chilled and we had a good time. We was on the beaches and it was the best experience that I've ever had during winter. It unlocked me because Florida largely really never closed. Florida never really closed. Florida was open for business. It was thriving. It was people down there partying. You know who I seen down in Florida the most? The people that voted for Biden. The people that voted for Biden, they was down in Atlanta, they was down in Texas, and they was down in Florida. The majority of the migration that's happening in this country is coming from these liberal left-leaning cities, and they moving from New York and they moving from California, and they all going down to Texas and Florida while they crying and whining talking about we don't like DeSantis. Well, if you don't like him, then why are you moving into the state that you don't like that he's governing? That's wild to me. If you don't like them, then why are you guys moving into the states that this man is governing? It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Why are y'all so hell-bent on visiting, partying, and moving to Florida if you actually don't like what it is that he put together? You don't like Disney. You don't like the stance that Disney has when it comes to the alphabet community, but you don't like the person that's taking him on. Literally the most prominent governor, the one that is opposing the entire system by which you guys are advocating against. And it doesn't mean that Trump isn't doing it also. He can also. But I would never, ever hate a governor especially if you stand against a lot of the things. This is the thing that we see happen in the black community all the time. They say that they don't like something. They say that they stand for something. They don't really even understand that they actually more conservative in the way that they live their life and actions and church and all of this other type of stuff. But then they vote on the thing that's not in their best interest. You know why? Because people are emotional. So I'm curious as to how this turns out. I want to see all of the different ideas and policies and the strategy and how it is that they plan on fighting inflation and military, what their stance on Ukraine and this war, how they would deal with Russia differently, tariffs, fighting China, BRICS, the semiconductor chip shortage, the semiconductor chip war, how it is that they're planning on fighting the stealing of ideas and the theft as far as over there in China, especially as it relates to ASML and all of that other. I have questions. I have things that I'm trying to mine out before I decide definitively who it is that I want to vote for. And don't be fooled. Your vote does count. Your vote does count, and you need to participate in an election process, educate yourself, become more informed as a voter so that you can then become successful and then participate in the local election also. All right. So just want to tap in on that really quickly before we get it popping. I am going to be reading super chats, and then we're going to continue with the show because I want to get into actually, I'm a pivot. I was going to get into this other guy really quickly, but I'm going to save him for last. And I want to get into the Naia Jackson. I want to get into that. So Whoopi Rock 1 says Anton is the king of trolls. Get it. I appreciate you, Whoopi Rock. Thank you to my ladies. I absolutely love you and I rock with you. Shout out to Jay Tay says, sup Anton, people out here trying to put smut on your name like you out here dusty pulling old vids, acting like it's the present day, but I love how you stay focused and ignore the real dusties, so I'll do the same. Focus, stay focused, run the bag up, run the check up, and use the negative energy for positive in order to make sure that we continue to run that checkup. Shout out to JT and all of my new bag chasers. Manifest King May says DeSantis is taking on the alphabet propaganda in Florida, making sure they don't indoctrinate kids within African American studies and nor by Disney. I agree, 100%. Shen C says missed love yesterday and couldn't find it today. Is it removed? Because first live I saw was from 2 weeks ago on there. Nope, it's on there. Here, let me help you out. Give me a second. Let me see if I can get it up for you. Share. Copy. There you go. Here, you can bookmark this. There you go. You can go and check it out. Shout out. He said Mr. Live yesterday. He said Mr. Live, not the love. I appreciate you. Greatness to Work says Trump is best America. Leave DeSantis in Florida. I'm wondering what he did to you, Greatness to Work. You're going to have to cam up on Friday so I can see what the hell is going on. Anyways, let's continue, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Get that Teej pack, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. And we're going to continue to run it up and we're going to continue to be successful. Now, let's pivot because I actually wanted to go one way, but I'm deciding that I'm going to go that other way, right? Naia Jackson. Derek Jackson just can't seem to pivot away from this thing, get this thing together, and make sure that everything is on top of everything, right? I mean, usually when somebody catches an L that big, they catch an L, they somehow, some way continue to do the work. They stay on top of things. They continue to work and make videos and put out good content that literally caters to whatever their audience is. And then they move past it and they continue to elevate, right? We've seen this happen with multiple different content creators. We've seen it happen with celebrities. When something happens to you or when a scandal pops up, it's not supposed to be the end of the road. It's supposed to be an opportunity for you to really show who you are, capitalize off of it, and then continue to excel, right? But that's not happening with Derek Jackson. And so now what you see is what we thought she was actually going crazy because We seen her start to quote the Bible and start wishing death on people and all of that other type of stuff. Now she popping up and she doing her rounds and she showing up on podcasts and she said, "Let me tell my story." Ooh. Before I give my opinion, because I have not seen it, I just want to get into it. Before I give my opinion, I'm going to just go ahead and show it. I'm going to be reading super chats throughout the show. Thank you guys for continuing to support the platform. Make sure you subscribe. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat for y'all to be able to tap into the Patreon. Let's go ahead and get into the show. Apparently, she appeared on a platform that's called Dear Future Wifey. Dear Future Wifey. When you see Miss Jackson, it's not the Jaxn, it's the Jackson. And she's having a conversation. Now, I don't know what she's going to say in this thing. I might have to scrub through it because there are no clips. It's just one whole episode. So I'm going to scrub through it. I'm going to try to jump around and see where I can find the interesting talking points. And then we're going to go from there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Let's rock out, y'all.
What did I get myself into, right? And now I'm practicing toxicity, right? I'm practicing toxic behavior and cycles with holding things in, not talking about it, and then either being passive aggressive or just super aggressive, yeah, but nothing in between. And then he has no idea what's going on because he doesn't know what I'm freaking out about.
And what you done seen,
right.
What prompted you to start looking through his phone?
I would always get like a feeling, or he would touch me different, right? So after most rape victims are very sensitive to touch. And so any sign of him touching me, any type of, any different, I'm like, there has to be some.
Okay, let me stop because this is already bad. This is already bad for Mr. Jackson. Jesus Christ. First, let me say that she looks good. I'm going to be objective. I have to be objective and just call it for what it is. Whatever glam squad that she found, if she out here in the gym, she losing weight, she look good. She certainly, in my opinion, on this particular clip, looked better than a lot of the Instagram thoughts that apparently Tasha K was showing that he was taking pictures with or whatever. But she looked good and she communicating effectively. But the worst part of this conversation is that she telling everything. Oh my God. Gentlemen. First rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. First rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. Whatever it is, fam, I don't know what y'all on an individual level, y'all as individuals that's watching this show, whatever it is that you got going on in your household, keep it in your household. Do not, please, Jesus, do not let your skeletons, because they got the keys to all of the bank accounts. They got the keys to all of the different holes that you busting down and all of this other type of stuff. Control your chick, bro. Control your chick. Fix it. I don't know what you need to do. Stay in a relationship, fix it, whatever you need to do, but you protect the bag at all costs. But she out here starting off the interview from the very beginning talking about she was in his phone and the dude was touching him different. Now let me tell you what she doing right now. She messing up the game for a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all is out here and you're moving around dirty and you're not doing things that you're supposed to do. And now she messing up the game because she giving a blueprint of how it is that women. Now she's doing a much better job for women as far as exposing the men that they with and helping them to identify exactly what the signs are of a dude that's not moving on the up and up and taking care of business. Look what Derek Jackson did to y'all. He continued to inflict pain on y'all on a regular basis. Now his chick is out here giving women the blueprint of how it is that he finessed her so that they can then go out and figure out what the hell is going on. Derek Jackson is still being a pain in the ass for men. Instead of holding his household down and getting his shit together, he out here fucking up the bag for everybody. Okay, Derek, let's see what it is that she got to say.
Somebody else. There has to be,
You're
right?
talking about with a change of a touch.
With a change of a touch. There has to be, right? And so I would go snooping around because I'm a snooper.
I never imagined my public healing would inspire others.
When I first met,
let me see.
Why have you said no to all of them and yes to the Dear Future Wifey podcast?
One, because the Lord didn't give me permission to go on any other platforms. So I have to be obedient to him. And when you reached out to me, it was automatic, like, yes. And so here I am being obedient to the Lord. But second to that is that I haven't had an opportunity to have a voice or to have my voice heard. It's been drowned out with all of the noise, all of the drama surrounding.
Hold on. Shannon, controversial Shannon, what are you doing in my chat, fam? Shannon, what are you doing in my chat? Do you want me to pivot so that you can come up here and have a conversation, Shannon? Shannon, I seen your video the other day, fam. Okay, Shannon. We gonna come back to Naia. Listen, this is a live show, so this is what we do. All right, Shannon, you want to come up? Let's see what you got to say, buddy. I don't know, of all of the different content creators that it's never going to be a dull moment over here at the Millionaire Morning Show, is it? All right, Shannon. Here's your shot. Here's your shot. I dropped the link. I'm waiting on you, buddy. This is what you get over here at the Millionaire Morning Show. You get real life, interactions with me. Trendy Lock says, wait till after my meeting. No, Shannon, listen, I interact with the audience. I interact with the people. Who declining? Shannon, you said you waiting for the conversation. I'm right here. Shannon. You said hold on. You said that you weren't ready for the conversation. And now I dropped the link in the description and now you're not ready for the conversation. No, you had a lot to say about black men and you had a lot of thoughts and you wanted to go on your rant and you wanted to talk about how dusty they was and stats and stuff like that. And so I'm not going to meet you with any negative energy. I just want to be able to have a conversation with you and see what it is that what your thoughts are. What are your thoughts, Shannon? I'm curious. No, Shannon. You're not. It's not necessary for you to join the Patreon, Shannon. I'm curious about what your thoughts are on this recent video that you did, Shannon. I dropped the link here. Let me drop it for you again, just in case you missed it. Let's just have a conversation. You said you was waiting to be able to have a conversation, and now I'm curious. I'm just curious. I want to pick your thoughts. No, Shannon is a male, and Shannon is a guy that I'm gonna be reading super chat shortly. Shannon is a guy that's basically, had thoughts specifically about what it is that he was thinking about different women and how it is that black women need to be loved and supported, and And this is just my interpretation of it. But if you want to clarify it for me, Shannon, then feel free to do so. Okay, here we go. I got Shannon right here. Let me see. Shannon, now you got to get on camera now. You know, I don't even know if this is a real you. Shannon, why did you dip? Come on, Shannon. Don't do that to me, baby boy. Come on, Shannon. Come on up, big dog. I got you. I promise you. No, it's not even showing you in the back, big dog. It's not even showing you in the back. All right, here we go. All right, Shannon, I'm gonna pull you up. I'm gonna pull you up. S. Dot in the building. Shannon said, I'm here. Shannon.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Did you get your Teej Hanley? 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Link is in the description.
No, I didn't get that.
Oh, shit, Shannon. You already behind the 8 ball. What's going on, my friend? Listen, you've been the subject of conversation for quite a minute now.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts? What did I get wrong?
So, no, I don't think you got nothing wrong. I think you did a great critique. See, I don't mind being held accountable. I think men should hold men accountable. The only men that I should have did a better job, the only men that I'm coming after are the Pookies and the Ray Rays. And if you look at my original content, I was on gaming and doing goofy content. I didn't ask for this space. On TikTok, what was being fed to me was just a whole bunch of people who share the same skin as me, black men, saying hateful things like black women are masculine. I had some of them call them Jezebels. Some of them called them demonic. So I was like, man, what's going on? I thought we was all on the same page. Now, I know that's not every black man, but I come after the specific self-hating black man. If you're such a good black man, and just like these other good black men, why did y'all feel the need to respond? I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them, and I'm talking about them. I don't like
Shannon, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
You said that you wasn't looking to come into this space, right?
I wasn't looking for this type of information to be fed to me. Go ahead, though.
No, that's not what you said. You said you wasn't looking to come into this space,
That's fine.
right?
I wasn't looking for the space. Go ahead.
But on your video, when you first began, you said you couldn't wait to get into this space.
After 2 months of seeing all this stuff, I was just gonna let it slide, seeing if there's balance. But yeah, you're right.
So
that's right.
Which one is it? Is it that you're not looking to get into the space, or you couldn't wait to start making the video to get into that space?
It's both. And that's my fault. I should be better careful with my words. I did not want to be in this space. I did not want to learn that there was such division between black men and black women. I didn't ask for that type of rhetoric or that type of
You
info.
do know that that's what red pill is, right? Red pill is just removing the blinders from your eyes so that you can see what the truth is. The truth is the truth regardless of whether I believe it or you believe it or whether I want to see it or not. The truth is the truth. And here's the thing, what I think that you're missing though.
Okay.
There are a lot of women that are demonic. And there are a lot of women that's evil. Now, the caveat to that is that there's people that are good and there's people that are evil. And there's black women that are good, and then there's hoes, as I like to call them, right? Because it's a difference between a wife and a woman for the streets. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, it's a difference between a nigga and a black man, right? It's a dude that operate like trash, as you like to call them, Pookies and Ray Rays, and then it's dudes that's on their purpose. I would say to you, though, as you do your research and you explore these spaces, and what you'll start to find is that there's more great men than you think, because the overwhelming majority of women, by a long shot, and you can look at the data, are choosing to procreate and have relationships and do the things that's the worst for society as far as having children out of wedlock, breaking up their marriages. They're overwhelmingly the ones that leave their relationships. They the ones that file for divorce and leave the marriages. They're the ones that decide they having sex with 20% of the population and then expecting the rest of men who then have to pick up the pieces and then deal with the trauma to deal with the nonsense that come along with it. So if the overwhelming majority of men are good, which they are, It's a silent majority because most men are not having sex. Most men do not have children out of wedlock. Most men are not leaving their relationships. If we finally get an opportunity to express our discomfort and the issues that they're having with the overwhelming majority of women that choose to slut it out with less than 20% of the population, because most men that have children with women is a small demographic, right? They all choosing the same Pookie and Ray Ray. Then wouldn't we want to deal with the majority of the problem instead of the minority of the ones that's complaining?
Well, okay, so here's my question. Well, here's my rebuttal to that. Where is the statistic that shows that majority of black women, majority of them are choosing 10%, like these 10% of men, because the data don't sound like it makes sense. These 10% of men can get from Houston,
20%,
Dallas,
20%.
20%. Okay, 20% can get all around the world and procreate with all the women 18 years and up, because that's a woman 18 years and up. So where is this statistic? Because if it exists, I would love to read it, and I'll say that I'm wrong, but I just don't. It don't even sound possible that 20% of these men can get all around the world and procreate with majority of black women.
Well, you can go to
That's
blackdemographic.com. That's one of them just right off the top of my head.
Okay.
But there's a sexual study that was proposed by the National Library of Medicine that highlights some of these statistics and demographics. And I can't pull it up for you right away because I didn't know that you was coming up. I would have been better prepared.
No, it's fine, man. It's fine.
But if you actually do the research, then you'll find out that the majority of women that are having children, especially out of wedlock, are having it with a small minority in the population of men. So
let's tell women.
Think about it though.
Go ahead.
Think about it though. If women now have the rights to choose on their own, because this is the thing that they advocated for. They advocated for equal rights. They advocated for more money. They advocated for the ability to have the same vote as you. They have advocated for the freedom to be able to have sex with whoever it is that they want to have sex with. And the repercussions of that is now that we have a generation of men that are raised by single mothers, right? Because even if you want to hold men accountable, you still have to go back to the foundation of how these men became who they were. And obviously a lot of it come from women choosing to leave their households and relationships as long as the government can now provide them a safety net for them to do so, right? I asked a woman the other day, I said, listen, if you knew that the person that you had sex with and ultimately had a kid with was going to be the only person that you can ever have in your entire life, which is what our vows say, till death do us part, in sickness and in health, and so on and so forth, would you choose better? Would you be more careful about the man that you decided to open your legs with? Would you have sex out of wedlock? And they said no. So if the solution, because they are the access to sex, if the solution is to prevent somebody from doing something that then have a kid that then can also use the family court laws against you in order to prevent you from even being able to participate in your kid's life, wouldn't we deal with the majority of the problem and not the minority of the ones that's complaining?
If that is the majority of the problem, and I have not did enough research, then yes, I still believe that you can call out those men about snipping themselves in. Hey, you're messing up the community. You having all these children out of wedlock. Just go get a vasectomy. I still believe
Why
we
would
have
you
to
focus
hold
your energy
those.
on the minority of the problem though?
No, I didn't know. I just admitted to you, if the women, all these women, are the majority of the problem, then I say yes, you focus on it. If I do more research and I come to that conclusion and it's factual, then fine. I will get up here and say that I'm wrong.
So
that's what I'm saying. Like,
okay, and here's the other problem though. It's not balanced.
Okay.
Because even if the guy, let's just say hypothetically that the guy can have a bunch of kids, as many as he wants, right? Women control access to sex. It takes two people. I can't force you to open your legs to me. I can't force you to decide to have a kid with me. I can't force you to have unprotected sex with me. So even when I'm accountable to absolve holding somebody else responsible for also participating in the process, it's biased. And the problem is that women are sweet and they're loving and they're beautiful and they got propped up titties and they come online and they complain about guys that do this and do that. And so because you see the way that guys communicate, you take it as toxic. But I would say to you that women are a lot more toxic in that they're presenting themselves as chameleons, when in reality they're doing some of the most egregious things that we see happening in our society.
Okay, so do you have game in your single days? Because I thought you're a married black man, right?
I've been married for 19 years.
For 19 years. Have you ever manipulated a woman out her drawers?
Never.
Okay. Well, a lot of black men, we do have game. We already know what that is. We know how to say the right things, dress good, smell good, and prey on women's emotions. We got jokes in this space where we talk about on our way to another woman who was raised by a single mother to manipulate her out of jobs. We make jokes about what actions we play to do some of the most egregious things in our community. So yeah, we can tell women to choose better, but we know how to get access out of them as well. No, they can't force us.
Then that will remove. That's like, so they children then.
Women can get manipulated just like men can get manipulated. Yeah,
are they grown adults that can make their own decisions, that can make their own money, that can choose the career and the men that they want to sleep with, or are they children and that we have to hoard over them?
Just like men, they're all adults.
But here's the difference though. If it's equal, then how come men are the only ones that's being truly held accountable by society? See, listen, no matter what happens, we still got to pay for that kid, or we go to jail, right? If you get into an argument with a woman and they come, in most states, if they have to take you to jail, even if she just accuses you of something that you didn't do, you got to sit in jail for 3 days. Don't matter what happened with your job. Don't matter what happened with nothing. We have this whole mantra of believe all women. We see guys getting out of prison from the Innocence Project from things that they never actually did, but women are then not held accountable for as a result of accusing them of things that it's so many different ways in which men are held accountable by society. All they asking for at this point is an opportunity to voice their displeasure with what it is that they see happening in society. And then when we see other guys then come up and save these women from themselves, it turns into perpetuating more of what it is that we see happening negative in society.
Well, if that's how I came across, the super simp, that's not what I was trying to do. I was only targeting the self-hating black man. See, I don't think a black man has the absolute right to call out the egregious behaviors of some of our women in our community, like the ones that be twerking on the highways, about to get their head blown off in the car. That's fine. I never said that they couldn't, so I don't understand why I'm getting that type of smoke. And then the Derek Jackson comparisons, like he was telling women about men. I was calling out.
No, he was doing the same thing. It was just in a different way.
Okay, so I didn't know that. I never watched the full Derek Jackson video a day in my life, but I never said that you couldn't call it out. It's the way that they go about it. Like even in the beginning of the video, the one that went viral with the dude named Basically Black Jesus. When the black girl said, "Black men, y'all are supposed to protect us," I actually stepped in and I said, "Hey, you said," well, no, because what he said was, "You cannot protect what cannot be corrected." I have no problem with that.
Correct. I agree with that.
Okay, so what he could have said was, "Hey, we're not obligated to protect all black women," because basically what he did was throw all black women under the bus.
Yeah, because they want protection from all black men.
We talking about all black women do not want protection from black women. From black men. All black women just want to run amok in the community. They want to have kids out of wedlock. They don't want to submit, because I'm 26 and a 31-year-old black woman is submitting to me. I married older because I don't know what these dudes be thinking about, because everybody got jokes and stuff, but I can pull older. I can pull my age. I married a 31-year-old black woman. I love black women. That's my shit. It is what it is. But I'm not going to be that person to say all black women. We can
How
never
long you been
say
married?
all.
How long you been married?
Yeah.
How long you been married?
A year.
1 year?
A year.
How long did you date her before you got married?
I knew my wife from a picture, bro. I knew her. She was the one in 6 months. I married my wife in 6 months.
So you met her 6 months, you got married, or you met her and then 6 months later you got married. Okay. Any kids? Do either one of you got kids?
No kids out of wedlock. No, she don't have no kids. No kids out of wedlock. None of that.
Okay, cool. So when you started off your relationship, right?
Yes.
As far as establishing the foundation of how it was that y'all gonna operate in your household, where does the responsibility lie? And you don't have to answer any of this. You can choose not to because, you know, you
No, man,
volunteered talking about your relationship. So I'm just asking you additional questions.
we vulnerable, bro. Let's go. What's the question?
Okay, cool. So when you have conversations or when y'all had a conversation about how it is that y'all going to operate within your household, is it 50-50? Is it you take over the responsibility of everything? How does that work?
So I try to take. So I'm not a 6-figure guy. So if y'all want to know, I'm not the 666 guy.
I'm not tripping off about that.
Yeah.
I'm not tripping about
Okay,
that.
cool. So I pay majority of all the bills. But I took on that role. I said I'm going to do that. That's just what I believe in. She steps in and pays some things.
Okay,
like if
so
I ever
do
don't
y'all combine y'all money or something like that?
Yeah, we have a joint bank account.
Okay, so if y'all got a joint bank account, then why is she only paying a minority of the bills? And I'm going somewhere with this. I'm asking these questions
because I was raised not by a single. I was raised in a 2-parent household, but I was raised to pay majority of the bills. And also, there's
Does she work?
There's wisdom. There's wisdom, huh?
Does she work?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
Can she not work or like?
Oh, I'm trying to understand why she not pulling her weight.
I didn't because it depends. Marriage is a teamwork, but like she is pulling her weight. I'm gonna explain. If I can pay all,
it's not team.
If I can pay, but listen, if I can pay all the bills and she can save all hers, we always gonna have something to rely on. If I don't need her to go 50, I don't need her to go 50-50.
She could save all hers.
So
so you supposed to kill yourself, and she's supposed to be able to.
It's not killing myself. Okay, it's not killing myself. The money she making, she gonna take care of the food. She gonna take care of my clothes, making sure I look nice. She gonna still take care of me. She offered to pay 50-50s. So let's make that clear. But I say I want to pay majority of the bills. That's what I want to do.
You're making a mistake.
That'll make me feel like, huh?
You're making a mistake.
But okay, if that's how y'all do it, that's fine. But I just take on that.
You're making a mistake, my friend.
Okay,
you're not giving her enough responsibility. You giving her too much power over your well-being by not giving her real tasks and responsibility.
The task is the house. The task is the house. The task is helping me start my business. No, she don't have no kids. No.
Okay, so what needs to be done in the house?
If I'm cleaning, you know what I'm saying, food, like. But I didn't.
You don't have no kids, bro. Ain't no house responsibilities.
But didn't. Where is that coming from? Explain. I'm trying to get some wisdom. Please just explain to me. I'm gonna shut up.
I got you. And so listen, if you don't have children, there are no real house responsibilities. What is it that what is it that she's doing in the house that is so substantial that would then remove her financial responsibility as far as what it is that she's bringing into the pot?
You know, she did say that. I did say that she said she will help 50-50 if I ever wanted to, right?
I understand that, but you're removing that responsibility from her.
I don't, because she'll take over an electricity bill or internet bill or something without me doing.
It's only two of y'all. That's probably $50.
But when it comes to
every bill that you just said just probably came up to a total of about $160.
But that's the man in me to always want.
That's not being a man.
Most.
That's not being a man. That's being a simp.
But how is that being a simp? I'm the one who made it that way.
How you start off. Listen, you talking to a dude that's been married since he was 22 years old, and I'm almost 2 decades in. All right, I'm not one of the incels. Okay. My brothers is all married. My uncles is all married. My father never. I don't know what divorce look like, and I also understand what masculinity is, and how you go into a relationship is if you looking to be successfully married, because it's a difference between being married and being successfully married. How you go in and how you start off, and how you establish how things are going to be in the first place, especially when you don't have kids, is the very thing that's going to come back to bite you by trying to be Superman and removing responsibility from her being an adult. Women have always worked, women have always contributed, and women have always made sure that they brought their money home and that they were equal responsibility for what it is that y'all doing from a successful perspective as far as building. If you are removing that responsibility from her by saying that I'm the man, I'm about to beat on my chest, by default, she's supposed to know that you a man. You don't have to prove it. You don't have to say it. You don't have to move a certain type of way. A man gives her a vision right? And so what she's supposed to be doing is buying into your vision, not necessarily buying into the idea that you're going to take care of her for the rest of her life. The taking care of her part comes along with her buying into the vision. But if she don't have no real vested interest in what it is that y'all doing in order to be successful, then why should she not just be expected to be taken care of for the rest of her life when she not really out here paying all of the bills along with you?
Okay, so in my family, we have successful black marriages. I don't know what divorce look like either.
Mm-hmm.
So in all of these situations, my whole family, the man takes on majority of the bills by choice. But they are by choice. So that's that, huh?
When you have children.
Am I miss? I'm probably missing. It's probably not clicking.
You don't have children.
Mm-hmm.
So if you create an environment where you want your children to be raised and not being in daycare and stuff like that, then that substantiates it. But we're not gonna remove her responsibility of being an adult. Okay. Let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
How is she building with you?
She building with me by platform. She's trying to start our own business, t-shirts, soaps. I'm trying to do a clothing line, all that. She is saving her money. I'm allowing her to save all her money for us. But if I ever need help, she steps in to help
I'm
me. If I
telling you,
say
you're
I
making
need
a mistake, bro. That's your money.
So are you saying that, wait, are you saying that she's supposed to go 50-50 on rent or 50-50
I'm
on
saying
everything?
that her money
50-50
is
look?
your money. She don't
It
have.
is.
She should not have a saving her money.
No, that's not what we have a joint bank account.
So you only got one bank account. You only got one bank account.
Maybe I should say
She ain't got her own separate bank account at all. It's just one bank account.
Maybe I should say it like this. 50% of her money that she makes goes into that joint bank account. My money goes into the joint bank account too, and my personal. So she kind of is doing 50-50.
That's your money.
It's ours, yeah.
No, it's yours.
I'm trying, like, does that have to be the setup for most marriages?
Yes.
That it has to be like that?
Yes.
Because I didn't know that. Because I didn't know that I was being Superman. What I was looking at myself is that's how it's supposed to be done. I could be wrong, but I don't have a woman that's pimping me over here. That's just living comfortable. So I didn't know I was being a super simp. I'm just being a provider.
Just watch.
Okay. Let's see.
Hello?
Hey, you busy? I'm on a live stream.
No, sir.
Hey, any lump sum of money, any job that you done ever had, any money that you done ever made in your life, who you bring that to?
You.
You bring it to who?
You.
And what do you tell me to do with it?
Whatever is necessary.
You bring your money to me and you tell me to do whatever it is that I see fit with it. And how has it been the entirety of our marriage?
Like that.
So when you got a lump sum of money, when you got a school refund, anytime in our marriage, what do?
I bring it to you.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
That was your wife?
That's my wife.
I love to see it. But okay, so listen. I just have a different. I don't think that I'm simping. Maybe we got a different setup. My wife does throw that money in the account, but she takes some out. I allow her to, so she can have some in her personal. Our money goes to the joint, then we send some to our personal. So she still is contributing, and it's working over here for me.
I mean, that's cool, but you're in a partnership. You're not in a marriage.
So because that's the way I got my marriage set up, I'm not in a true
No, I think
marriage.
that people can do whatever it is that they want to. I never tell
Mhm.
people how to operate, but I'm just telling you that your mindset is based off of this new age thinking, which is not going to be conducive for you in the future, in my opinion. Based off of what I've seen and based off of how I've operated and what I've known to be a successful marriage, you going to be
Mhm.
behind the 8 ball, big dog.
And if I'm not,
What do you mean if you're not?
if it works for me,
Then keep doing it.
you see,
Rock
like,
out.
okay,
But I'm telling
okay,
you, it's
so
probably better my way.
I already stated that if I want all her money to go into
I don't
the bank
believe you.
account, she's
I
going
don't
to
believe
ride with
you.
me
I don't believe you. I don't
because we
believe
had it
for
like that at first.
listen. I don't
We
believe
had it
for
like
one
that at
second.
first.
I don't believe for one
Okay.
second that your I don't believe for one second that your chick or your girl, I'm sorry, I call my chick, that your wife is handing you over her paycheck 100% without any kind of questions whatsoever. I don't believe that at all.
All right, bro. I mean,
I
these type of
it's. I'm not saying that it's not
it's
true. Listen,
okay.
I don't believe that it's. I'm not saying it's not true. It just don't. Based off of what you've communicated to me, and based off of how it is that I see you operating, I don't believe it.
Well, how is it that you see me operate?
How you've
I'm telling
communicated to me today. You came in
you
saying
think
that you white knighted, and that you take care of all of the bills, and then she gonna save her money. The fact that you even said her money,
by
no, that's
choice.
my money. That's my money.
The money the money is
No.
our money.
That's my money. That's my
Yeah, I'm
money.
okay. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I understand sort of. But if you think who you think set up to where money goes into our personals? You think it was
It
her or
don't
me?
matter how it's set up.
Who do you think made the initiative when we had a joint bank account to be like, hey, all that money comes to our joint
But
bank
you
account,
still
but
established
take
that
some?
you gonna take care of the majority. Okay. What's the
Because
disparity?
that's
Watch this,
my
watch this. What's the
go ahead.
disparity between who make the most money in the household?
Me.
Is it a huge disparity?
A little bit. Pretty much.
Okay, so she makes a fraction, just a small fraction of what it is that you make, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
As of right now, yeah.
She working full time, 40 hours.
No, my wife actually working part-time right now.
Why?
I made her because she was a flight attendant, and I said you can leave that and then start something here. That's what I did. That's
She
what
need to be
I
working
did.
full time, bro. If she ain't got no kids, she need to be working full time.
Okay, listen to me clearly. She was just working a full-time job.
If
I
she
told her
Okay, how long was she working
she
a
was
full time?
working a full.
Think
She was
about
working
it.
a.
Think about it. Think about
Go
it.
ahead,
Think
go
about
ahead.
it. How
I'm
long
trying to
was she
answer.
working a full time job before you got with her?
Think about 5 years. 5 years.
So she worked a full time job, took care of herself, was a functioning adult because you don't get credit for taking care of yourself in 2023 or 2022 when you got married as an adult. But all of a sudden she became part time when you married her, and she ain't even got no
No,
kids.
you didn't even let me finish.
Okay, go
You
ahead.
didn't
I'm
even let me
sorry.
finish. When we got married, I said you can leave your flight attendant job. She
Why?
got a full stay at home job.
Why? No.
Cause
You said she worked part time, fam.
she worked part-time now. I was telling you about right now. Right now, she only been working part-time for 2 to 3 weeks right now. She left that full-time job because it was getting stressful. She don't like dealing with it. I said, leave it, find you another one. She has a part-time job right now until she gets another
You
full-time.
setting yourself
You
up,
wouldn't
fam.
let me finish.
I
Like,
heard
you know what
you.
I'm saying? Like,
The answer is still the same. You
but
setting yourself up,
how is it a
bro.
setup?
So she was comfortable grinding and hustling and getting it and pouring into herself before you came, and then all of a sudden she's a damsel in distress and it's too stressful.
No. See, okay, I'm gonna give you some more
She see
information.
you as a mark, bro.
I'm going to give you some more information.
Okay, I'm
She
listening.
always said if she got married, right, and being a flight attendant, she would want to be home. She wouldn't want to be far away in other states, other countries. She already had that established in her mind before she married me. I told you I'm gonna be vulnerable. I'm gonna tell you the truth. So when we got married, she made the decision. Well, I made the decision. Hey, you can leave that job now. She got her a stay-at-home job.
Mhm.
She was doing a stay-at-home job for 8 months, and then the job started tripping. So I say, hey man, leave that. Get you a little part-time until you find another better full-time job. I got it right now.
Nah, you should
That's
have
what I'm
told.
saying.
This is what I would have told my chick.
Go ahead.
Man the fuck up. So you
You
feeling
told the chick to
man the fuck up. Put your big girl panties on, because you was doing just fine before I came into the picture, and now you feeling a certain type of way because they all in your stuff. If I see my chick moving a certain type of way, I don't just put my night on, my cape on, and say, "Oh, poor baby, this and that." I don't do that. I say, "Hey, listen, what are you doing to cause them to actually feel a certain type of way about you?" See, I hold my chick accountable, right? I have to understand what the hell is going on, because I'm not just going to take your word for it. I need to see what's happening. See, this is what provision and protection looks like. Me being able to hold her accountable actually puts her in a better position, because now when she eventually comes to work for me, which my wife now works for me, she got the right attitude. Oh, wait a minute. What happened? Shannon, I'm going to drop the link back in the chat for you to be able to come back up. That's for you, Shannon. I know you probably dropped off. I'm going to drop it back in the chat just so you're able to come back up. Gentlemen, we got a lot of work to do. I'm sure his phone just dropped. It was probably his reception. Gentlemen, we got a lot of work to do. If you want a traditional household, then you're going to have to establish traditional rules. If your chick is out here with no kids, going to work, busting down bags, and then you taking care of the majority of the resources, Shannon, I dropped the link in the chat for you to be able to cam back up. I'm going to drop it again for Shannon. If your girl is able to keep her money, or she even says my money, and she's able to separate that from y'all, and you over here white knighting her and paying for everything and all of that other stuff. Listen, I don't care if it's your girlfriend. I don't care if it's the live-in woman or anything like that. I don't care what it is. I need you to put your size 12 Timberlands on and establish, and this is why I tell guys all the time, how you start off is how you're going to have to continue. Your girl see you as a mark. I'm telling y'all, listen. Y'all girl, Shannon, I'm going to drop the link in there for you again. Y'all girl is seeing y'all as a mark. And shout out to Shannon. Listen, I would love to have a continuation of this conversation if he decides to cam up. Y'all girls see y'all as a mark. And so that's why they feel comfortable enough to be able to, now they can quit their job, all of this other type of stuff. All right, here we go. I'm going to get you back up. All right, you back? You good?
My bad. No, my phone overheated. It got hot.
I figured that's what it was. I don't remember where we was at, but I'm telling you, man, that
you said you're not gonna let your wife just tell you anything. Like you wouldn't just white knight it. You gonna figure out
I gotta establish what the hell is, why is it any different now that we married than it was when we first got together, and your ability to be able to hold down a job. Now everybody hates you at your job, and you got permission to quit. Listen, the grace comes. I think that women are okay with quitting a job when y'all have the type of resources for them to be able to be a stay-at-home mother. If she is not a stay-at-home mother and she just working part-time, what is she doing with the other? So let's say she worked 4 hours a day. What's she doing with the other 24? You got to sleep 7 to 8. Cool. So that gives you 12. You got a whole another 12 hours. Where the rest of the 12 hours going?
You talking about? You asking me?
Yeah, where the rest of her 12 hours going?
Okay, well, right now for her 12 hours, she been taking care of the house and she been putting in more job applications, more
like
full-time
what?
jobs.
Like what is taking care of the house? Because it ain't no kids. So what does taking care of the house look like?
Cleaning, cooking, make sure I got a meal when I come back home so I can eat. Driving these damn trucks all day.
You are getting finessed, Shannon.
No, I
I'm
swear to God,
telling
I'm
you,
not.
my friend. I'm telling you, you getting finessed, bro. Listen, it ain't
And
enough
that's so
cooking
funny.
and cleaning every single. If she cooked a meal every day and she re-cleaned the house every day, it's no way that that's covering 12 hours.
But you're judging me by a finesse thing right now because she working part-time that I told her to leave that job.
You should not have
Get
told
you a
her to
better.
leave the job.
If my wife got stressed and now that she damn near has a cyst on her damn because I didn't want to give no medical details.
Don't
If the
give no
job has
medical
been causing
details.
her
Don't get no medical details.
oh, okay. If the job was causing her to get stressed and I had to take her to the hospital and that was the cause of what's coming on, leave that damn job.
No, learn
Get you a
how to de-stress yourself and get the fuck back to work because we got a vision to build.
Not when. Okay, she's gonna get back to work full time. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not getting finessed over here, but the
So
men are gonna
when
run.
you get home, you can look for a job, but in the meantime, I need you to go ahead and bring that bag home.
The men. I don't think
Go
you
get
try.
that
I don't even
bag.
think you're trying to understand me. I'm not getting mad. I don't think you're trying to understand
Okay, go ahead.
how. I really want to know how I'm getting finessed, because they always came with accusations. A man talking like this. He was born in a single parent household. I already debunked that on TikTok. No, I wasn't.
I didn't say you did.
I know. I'm just saying, men in general, they're gonna say that I'm getting cheated on. I'm not getting cheated on. I'm never gonna cheat. I know what the hell my vows that I took.
I don't
My
believe you're getting
vows.
cheated on.
Okay, but you think that I'm getting finessed? I'm not even a
Absolutely.
6-figure guy. I'm not even a 6-figure guy, but I'm getting finessed on a
Because I'm trying to understand
above average
what
paycheck.
12 hours of a day, 12 hours a day. So you telling me she putting in job applications and she cleaning the house and she cooking for 12 hours a day?
What else would you advise? I'm gonna listen to an older married man with wisdom. What is she supposed to be doing with the other 12 hours besides trying to help me build my business? And putting in applications to help.
40 to 45 hours a week.
Now, if I just told you she has a part-time job, now she's trying to get another job. How's she supposed to work?
But she
Full
never.
time.
What I'm saying, working is that she never should have quit her other job in the first place.
You talking about the flight attendant job?
Either or,
Huh?
whichever one.
Be honest. Do you honestly think that her being a flight attendant and me being over here in the trucks, do you think that would have been sustainable?
Yeah, people work all the time.
Not saying
Every dude I know is literally traveling the majority of the week, and they really don't even see their family until the weekend like that.
Oh yeah,
that's normal. Hold on. This new age
I'm
shit.
not built for that one.
Yes, you are. You built for it, Shannon. You are not dependent on a woman for your happiness, bro. A woman is extra. I don't care if it's your wife. They're extra. They are not the thing that sustains you. They are not your purpose. She is not your purpose. Your purpose is your purpose. She feeds into your purpose. That's how you become successful. That's how you're able to give her a vision. You don't have to worry about sustaining a relationship. The relationship should be sustained based off of y'all actually living in your purpose. The sex is extra, right? The spending time is extra. You got the rest of your life to spend time with her. What the fuck you trying to... Let me remove my language. What the hell are you trying to spend a bunch of time with her for? Go get your bag. Put that shit to work.
I make more money locally now than I was over the road. But
I'm just saying, you said with her being a flight attendant and you being a trucker
and me being on the truck, yeah.
What's the problem?
Do you think that would not open up the door to
what?
Lust because a lot of men cheat,
a
lot of women cheat.
For you?
Huh?
For you?
Yeah, for me. For me, for her, for
you don't
anybody.
have I thought you don't have dick discipline, Shannon?
Man, I'm good. Like, dog, I'm just saying, dog.
I'm just saying. You telling me that secret? Okay, so Shannon, secretly, are you a Pookie and a Ray Ray, Shannon?
No, of course not. I promise.
Then how come you can't control your dick?
I'm not talking about me.
You said, would it open up the door for lust?
The door for lust is always gonna be there.
No, it's not. You can't tempt me with something that I'm not interested in.
I'm saying the lust, no matter what. I get lusted on right now by women.
I don't give a fuck. Listen, my DMs is fucking lit right now. That don't mean nothing. I'm out in the streets every day. The one thing that you never gonna worry about for me is that it ain't not a woman in the world that I'm ever gonna put before my bag.
And I feel that. I feel
So
that. I
ain't
agree
no woman
100%.
ever gonna get me off of my purpose because she not worth me fucking up my bag for her. See, it
Okay,
ain't even
so
about the woman, it's about me.
let's go back to what she originally said. If when she gets married, if she's in the air, or whenever she gets married, she doesn't want to do that no more. She wants to be home with her husband every day. And
So
if
you
I
saved her.
married,
So you
huh?
saved her. You saved her. You saved her.
Lord,
She gave you an alternative. You took her up on her offer and you saved her. That's what it is.
that was already established way before I
Right. You
met her.
saved her.
That's what she already saved her.
Yeah. She said that this is what she wanted to do. You
You make it
understood
seem
the
like she's a
assignment. No. You understood the assignment and you granted her wish. You saved her. You was her white knight.
if I say I fell in love with this girl through a picture before I even had my first conversation with her, took
Wrong.
on one day,
Wrong.
all I knew,
Wrong.
I'm
You should
tripping.
never fall in love with a picture.
Bro. Just because y'all don't have them type of experiences, don't mean that a lot of us men don't. Like I actually preach, or I actually, walk what I preach.
I believe you. And that's why I'm
But
giving
so
you a
how?
lot of credit. I have to give you a lot of credit, right? Because you just being transparent, you being real, you being honest, which makes for a better conversation. But I'm telling you that marriage is a business first. Before it is ever love, marriage, even historically, the way that it was established, the covenant before God, all of it is a business first. It is not based off of love. That is a new thing. The love comes with it,
You
right?
think
Even
you think God
scripturally,
made it a business?
it is absolutely a business. The only reason he
I'm
even
talking about. Go ahead.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. No,
It
no,
is
go ahead. I'm sorry.
absolutely a
That's my fault.
business. Listen, in everything that you do as a man, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything else be added unto
Yes,
you.
sir. Preach.
The women come with it, the money come with it. You being on your purpose, it all comes with it. You don't live for them. You don't live for something else. You live for what it is that you supposed to doing. It's God over man, man over woman, woman over child. Meaning that you shouldn't be doing things for her. You should be doing things based off of what your purpose is. She feeds into that purpose, and then she benefits as a result of it, of being in the gym with you. So if that be the case, how is she giving you alternatives as far as what it is that you supposed to do in order to make her happy in a marriage?
Well, I'm explaining that it wasn't an alternative because she already had that in her mind, right? Before we even got together. So I don't understand.
You
Well, I'm
fell
not
in love with
trying
a
to repeat
picture,
myself,
and then
but
you saved her. She finessed you.
through a picture. So you
Yes.
telling me? So if I tell you that I was on like looking through Facebook dating whatever, and God told me that that's my wife, would you believe me? No,
Listen.
seriously, seriously.
Yeah,
Because
that could be
you are
true. No.
speaking,
Let's rock with it.
you
Let's
are
rock with it.
speaking.
That could be
But
true.
hold on,
That could be true.
you
Okay,
are
let's rock
speaking.
with it.
You are speaking to a Christian man.
Mm-hmm.
You are speaking to a Christian man. So if I'm just looking, I've been out there, only been out there to a certain extent.
Uh-huh.
I preach low body counts. I tell men to keep it under control. Like, if God told me that that's my wife through a picture, and it took me 3 months to even, I'm not a shy guy. I may not be the best looking guy, but I'm damn sure not shy.
None of that
If
matters.
it
You
took me,
get good
but
dudes with
but
confidence that's
listen,
winning as winners. Go ahead.
but if it took me 3 months to even build up the confidence to even send her a text message to ask her to go out with me on one day,
Ben, you're not that guy.
do that sound like simping, or do that sound like a work of something else? If it
No,
sounds like
that
simping,
sound
cool.
like
I'm just
simping.
asking you to keep it
It
real.
sound like simping to
Okay,
me.
that's
You
fine. That's fine.
think about it. You supposed to be that guy. In the beginning of this call, you expressed to me how, it's easy for you to finesse women and all of this other type of stuff if you wanted to. But now you telling me that you had to build up the confidence to even send her a text message for 3 months.
For her, yes, for her.
She just a woman.
She was my woman. She my woman.
Listen,
She
I
my
love my
rib.
wife. Listen,
Okay,
don't
understood.
do that, Shannon. Don't do that. Now
What?
you
What
looking
did I
bad.
do?
You looking bad out here in these streets.
But what did I just do?
Listen,
I didn't hear what I just did.
I
Being serious.
absolutely love my wife. I take care of her. She's phenomenal in every way. She's a great mother. But my wife
Understood.
understands that I'm the prize, bro. I'm the prize.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be hard to get another me. And this is no diss to her or any other woman. I can get another you tomorrow.
But quick question. I'm sorry for
more importantly, I don't necessarily need another you in order for me to continue to do what I'm going to do. And you got to operate with that level of confidence because they can see you coming, bro. They can see it a mile away. You probably told her at some point in the dating process that it took you 3 months to even be able to send her a text message. You told her that, didn't you?
After I married her.
I know you did. No, but you told her. You told her.
No, I said after I married. That's what I mean.
You told her before you married her.
No, I didn't. After I married her, I told her. It took me 3 months to even get with you. Or to even send you a text message. But I'm admitting to you that I told her. But one thing, because whatever I did to offend you, I don't know what I did. I apologize. You said you love me. But what did I say though?
What do you mean offended me?
No, you was like, don't do that, Shannon. I was like, what did I do? Because I really don't know what I did.
No, I'm saying that you by saying that, oh no, this is my woman. Like that it just don't go over well.
Oh, okay.
No, that ain't got nothing to do with me. You ain't offending me. I'm cool.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because that is my rib though. She is my rib. I don't mind saying stuff like that. If y'all can't say that about your wife, then that's fine. I understand. So you don't think I'm the prize? So you think I can't consider my woman the prize while she considers me the prize? Because she does consider me the prize, but she's still mine. I don't understand why men can't speak like this about their woman without being called soft.
You can speak however you want to speak.
That's wild to me, man. That's why I said I wanted to have a conversation. But anyway, I ain't gonna waste your time because I know it's your panel.
You ain't wasting my time. I made time for you today, my friend.
Okay. Well, like, again, I was never calling out the good black man, and my message could have been way better. I know people probably gonna make fun of me. That's fine. It's cool. It is what it is. But I was only calling out those self-hating black men. Like, you gotta understand that the passport bros. You probably know something about the passport bros. The black passport bros. When you say that these women
all the time.
When they get on behind these cameras and say these women over here are just so much better than you, why you couldn't just get your other? Be happy.
Why you can't do what?
Why you couldn't just get your other or the woman over there and be happy instead of bringing the smoke back to them? Now, I know, looking at studying, there has been some black women divestors who are saying Chad is so much better than the black men over here. I'm just trying to get to like some kind of,
So how come you don't tell the women that? Because I can answer you why the guys do it, but how come you don't say that to the women?
I did not know it was going. I told you what was being fed to me was something by men.
Well, no, you just said that you know that it's women that do it with the whole Chad situation.
I said I know now doing some studying that I see that, okay, it was smoke coming from both sides. But I did not see it from the women. I promise I wasn't searching this for my For You page or nothing. All they was feeding to me was men. Look up Stacey Prince. The dude said black women are a group of women who were designed not for autonomy. Then he tried to backpedal.
He said what?
He said black women are a group of women who were designed not for autonomy. Autonomy is saying black women cannot govern themselves. But he tried to backpedal and say that they should never be alone. I'm calling out
no woman can govern. No woman can truly govern herself.
Throughout their daily lives, they can't go to work and operate, go home. These independent women that pay their bills, so they're not governing themselves right there.
No, that's just being an adult.
They can't govern themselves in their daily lives. I understand what you're saying.
No, they don't, because they're governing themselves based off of the parameters and the way that we've established society for them to be able to operate. We built this for them. Men built this world. We built all of the modern conveniences that allow for them to be able to operate in the way that they operate, right? So if you're operating based off of the construct that I built for you, I'm still governing you, right? If you took everything away tomorrow and you just had men and you had women and you had no modern conveniences whatsoever, they would shut the fuck up and get up under your covering because they know that they couldn't survive on their own. And what we've done is we've made the world convenient for them to be able to operate, but it doesn't mean that they can govern themselves. It just means that they're doing the thing that they're supposed to do as an adult. They don't get credit for that. That's like me taking care of my kid. I don't get credit for that. I brought them into this world, right? But they can't truly govern themselves, which is why women often at times are looking for initially provision and protection when they're trying to find a man. The first thing that they look for is not love. They're not looking for any of that. They're looking for provision and protection.
Looking for financial security and protection. I get it. Do you understand the type of rhetoric? I mean, not rhetoric. Do you understand the messaging and the way that it comes out the mouth? How
Doesn't
you
matter. The truth is the
saying, how
truth.
you may have meant. Why he didn't say women aren't
Why
meant
he
to
got to
govern
say
themselves? He
anything?
said
I
specific.
say a lot of different things, and I don't be giving. I
Can
don't care.
a black man govern himself,
Absolutely,
or
he
does
does
God
already.
govern him?
He already does.
Do black men govern themselves, or do God govern man?
Black men govern themselves.
Okay, so look, I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt. I'm trying to learn. I did not know all this back and forth between each people was going on. I didn't want this.
You jumped in the mire.
I jumped into it, and I'm ready to stand 10 toes down on it. So I had a conversation with an intelligent black man. I'm gonna look into these statistics. I'm gonna be more humble. Cool. But if I keep saying I did have men on my panel come in and say his own daughters were Jezebels. You wouldn't say that about your own daughter. 9 of them.
I don't know the context of the conversation, so it's difficult for me to speak on it.
Yeah. So the type of men that I'm having to speak on that come on my panels, they really come from a place of hatred. They be saying black women are the worst group of men.
It's not hatred.
When you say black women are the worst group of women that you could ever have, but you have black skin. Now, however you feel about it, you still a black man that came from a black woman. For you to say these are the worst group of women, like
It's
you
a
have
fact.
dated
It's
all
a
the
fact.
black women.
It's a fact.
How are these men where are y'all finding these strong, independent women? Y'all can't find a submissive, friendly, whatever Kevin Samuels was talking about.
Just because my circumstance is what it is doesn't mean that I can't acknowledge the overwhelming majority of what men are experiencing. Black women have been more hurtful, harmful, and regressive to black men than any white man.
Now, if we talk about how we was beating our wives back in the days, are we gonna just say that was a small?
No, that was Do you know what? Do you know why guys was able to discipline their wives?
Please, and beating your wife is disciplining your wife.
No, you saying beating. It's listen. Disciplining your wife was because she was considered your property. Okay, you were responsible for her, and so that was a thing. That was basically you taking control because you then became responsible in the same way that you discipline your children. Obviously, it's a different context, and we're not validating the dude getting drunk and coming in and putting paws on his chick. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is that if a woman got out of line, a man's ability to be able to deal with whom it is that he's responsible for as he seen fit was a thing. That's just the way it was back then.
But you admitted that you're not justifying.
I'm not justifying a dude getting drunk and beating the fuck out of his kids just because. Like, no, I don't think that people should just be beating on people in general. But I also believe that kids should be disciplined. Listen. I absolutely, and kids specifically, I absolutely believe in a good belt.
No, I'm not talking about the kid. I'm saying because like the context, I may have misunderstood it. It seemed like you was comparing the wife to children, like because I was specifically speaking about the wife getting a belt whooping or behind, slap, beat up, whatever, discipline, however you want to call it. But yeah, man. So look, listen. Like I said, I'm gonna let you get back to the panel. I appreciate you for bringing me on. I'm glad we had a conversation.
You are more than welcome to come on my show anytime you want to, Shannon. I think you're frozen, bro. You frozen, Shannon. Shannon, I think you're frozen, big dog. Your phone probably is messing up again. It's cool. Listen, I appreciate you for coming up, Shannon. You still frozen. Are you still trying to be there, Shannon? All right, well, I guess he dipped off. Yeah, great conversation. I think that was a great conversation. Maybe I'll save Naia Jackson. The Lord wanted me to deal with Naia Jackson tomorrow. All right, I'll deal with that tomorrow. We're gonna save that for the show tomorrow. How do I put the caveats, the garnishments, the cherry on top of this thing? We got work to do, fellas. And when I say we got work to do on making sure that we are girded up and truly prepared for what it really means to be a man. These women can see y'all coming a mile away. A mile away. And I'm not criticizing him specifically, right? But I want to highlight a couple things because he volunteered the information. And let me give some props to Shannon for being willing to come up and have a conversation. And I think that it was a really good conversation. Nobody called each other out of their names. We wasn't arguing. We wasn't doing any of that. We were just having a good conversation. And this is why I say to y'all all the time, listen, the energy that you meet me with is the energy that I'm going to give back to you. If you are the type of person that want to have a conversation and stand on what it is that you stand on as far as your square and your thoughts, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be passionate about what it is that I feel, but I'm never going to call you, I'm never going to dog you. I'm not going to disrespect you or anything like that. And then how it is that you bring certain things into the conversation is how it's going to go. But here's the important thing, guys. Women can see y'all a mile away. Y'all are not giving these women enough credit to be able to see, observe, make adjustments, and then take advantage of their circumstance and their situation. That is what they are made to do, which is one of the reasons why you have to give them purpose. You have to give them purpose, you have to give them a vision, and you have to put them to work. A woman loves, let me tell you something, and this is the common myth, and then I'm going to leave it here. This is the myth. The myth is that women love to take advantage of men and then be successful as a result of it, or ride their coattails. That's not true. Of all the things that they've ever taught you on the internet and this space and your father in real life, that is not true. That's what women think that they want. And then often at times they find themselves unsatisfied and crying on the internet, similar to Kim Kardashian just was crying the other day about the fact that she's a single mother. She thought that she was finessing. She thought that she was taking advantage of the situation. These women out here think that the vibe is, and the thing that's going to make them the happiest is finessing a guy or see him coming and taking advantage of him. If that be the case, then why do they still have sex with the guy that they attach to emotionally? What they truly want is something to do. They want a purpose. They want a vision. They want to work. They want to grind. They want to be a part of something. It's the reason why a lot of these women join these sorors. It's the reason why women are happier when they're submissive to a guy that gives them a vision and purpose. Women are happier working for their man, not because they're doing less work, but because they're a part of something that they're building, which ultimately gives them a sense of reality, a sense of femininity. They want to be submissive. They want to be handled a certain type of way in the room. Most women don't want to be the dominant person inside of a relationship. Most women don't want to be they want to be dominated inside of the bedroom. They want you to handle them a certain type of way. They want to be loved. They want to be finessed, right? They want to be caressed. They want to be told certain things in order to make them feel good. You put that battery in her back, she going to go and get that fucking money for you, bro. She going to grind. She going to hustle. She'll jump off the face of the earth for you if you give her a vision. What she's doing, what women are doing today, and the reason why they so outside of their purpose and why they still can't find happiness, even though they out here getting the bag from guys, finessing, is women that's getting child support from these men and all of this other type of stuff, egregious amounts of money. And guess what? They're still not happy. They still jumping from man to man, person to person, opportunity to opportunity. And it don't matter how much they finesse the guy. Inherently within themselves, they're not built to be happy based off of that circumstance that they find themselves in. So when they finally get them in, or you get them in a space to where you give them a purpose and you give them a vision and you stand up as a man and you say, listen, that ain't fucking flying in here. Do you know how many times I've had to sit my chick down and say, yo, what's going on with you? And then afterwards she would be like, you know what? I kind of needed that. I'm so glad that you put me in my place and you helped me to understand what the hell was going on out here. Cause I was just doing stuff because outside of her purpose. But as I've grown, as I've evolved, as I've learned, as my fathers taught me. And when I say my fathers, I'm talking about my father, his father, my grandfather, all of that. They've given me the game and they've helped me to understand that women will exponentially go out and do the thing that is in all of y'all best interest if you give her a vision. But if you don't stand on your square and y'all just keep trying to save these chicks, you gonna realize that she not yours is just your turn because you don't really know how to capture what it takes in order to really be a husband. And most women, regardless of what they say, they don't know what the fuck they want. That's why they keep saying that they want a partner. You don't want no partner. You want to retire. You ain't trying to be going to work for that man, for the white man. You only doing that because you feel like you ain't got no other choice. So you leverage it in order to continue to have these conversations online. But the reality is that every one of these baby mamas that's online giving y'all advice, they will trip over themselves and cut their left pinky toe off in order to get a man that'll save them and take care of them and give them some purpose. Every one of these baby mamas, these single baby mamas that y'all keep taking dating advice from and marriage advice from, they will cut their left pinky toe off in order to find a man that will absolutely positively put them in their place and give them a sense of purpose. They crave it. They can sense it. They can smell it on you. It's their innate ability as a woman to be able to do so. They crave it. They only on here talking shit because they ain't got nothing else to do. They ain't got nothing else better to do. They broke, they dusty, they kids is bad, they don't have no sense of purpose, they DMs is only popping when somebody want to fuck them, not when somebody actually want to wife them up. And that's why they online talking shit every day and having conversations. Look. You think if somebody was over there piping down Cynthia G and giving her a sense of purpose, do you think, honestly, in your heart, that she would be online talking shit every single day about black men? She wouldn't. She absolutely, positively wouldn't. Name your favorite single baby mama that's online being a content creator that all of these men continue to simp for, and help me to understand how they would be operating in this sense of masculinity if they had a dude that was piping them down and giving them a sense of purpose and putting them on putting them on a track. There's no way that they could even muster up the ability to say some of the wild shit that they saying. You don't see Savannah James online talking shit. You don't see that shit. You know where you see it from? Gabrielle Union. From the person that feels like they can go 50-50. They online putting out the family business and living in their masculinity, and you can see it as a reflection of their kids and how it is that they live in their life. A woman that truly got purpose and is moving in her femininity, they not living like that. They don't want to. It is work. It is suffering. Don't no woman want to be out here competing with a man. I'm telling you the real. So when I see this happen and I see y'all white knight and y'all not creating a better space for yourselves, y'all creating suffering, issues, problems, trouble. I could see it happen. When I talk to guys and I had these conversations with them, I see this happen. I see what's going to happen 10 years down the line. I'm not paying attention to what your current situation is. I'm paying attention to what you're going to be dealing with long term. How many dudes in the chat right now? How many dudes that's in the chat right now had a chick at one point that you thought was going to be your wife, but then now today it's a completely different circumstance. Y'all not even speaking to each other. At one point, you was telling her you loved her and you was going to take care of her and you was going to be about this, and she was saying that, and y'all was promising each other. And you might even have told her you wanted her to have your baby in the middle of sex like you Tyrese on Baby Boy. But y'all not even speaking to each other today. Why is that? For all of my ladies in the chat, at one point, you was with a guy that you thought could possibly be your husband. And if not, you looking back at him and saying, damn, I should have married that guy, because it's a guy in your past. For those of you that are not married, and even for some of you that are, because you might have settled for the dude that you with, but you really paying attention to when you still following this nigga on Facebook to figure out what the fuck he doing. waiting, contemplating the possibility of what if. How many ladies in the chat? You ain't got to say nothing. How many ladies in the chat right now experienced a certain type of guy that you know you would give all of this shit up for that you got to deal with on a daily basis, and you would 100% get on his purpose, his square, and then operate with whatever vision that he gave for you. You want that shit. You want it. That's the thing that you want right now. I don't know no woman, not one, is excited to get told what to do so that she can go and have to pay some bills and then beg Biden for forgiveness on her student loans. Ain't none of that junk fun. It ain't fun. And I know some beautiful women. They be at the meetups. I seen y'all in Miami. I seen y'all in Dallas. I see y'all everywhere. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Shout out to Tej Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Make sure you also get the tickets to the Charleston White show here June 9th at the Garden Theater in Detroit. That link is in the description for y'all to be able to do that. But more importantly, learn how to love yourselves. Learn how to love yourselves. You know what? We're going to talk about it tonight. Anton Daniels channel tonight, probably somewhere around 9:30 Eastern. I am going live on my channel. I'm going to give y'all some real talk. See, this is the Millionaire Morning Show. I'm still holding back on this one. I ain't really said what I really wanted to say. But tonight on the Anton Daniels channel, make sure y'all tune in, tap in. I am going to go live, and I'm going to allow for y'all to be able to cam up and exactly tell me how it is that I'm wrong. If you think that I'm wrong, if you think that I'm off, if you think that Anton don't know what he's talking about, you are going to be more than welcome to be able to cam up and give me your thoughts, and I am going to be incredibly respectful and give you the energy that you give back to me. I'm going to talk about it tonight. We going to mine it out tonight. So if you really want to have this conversation with me, if you want a one-on-one with me, go ahead and get your free coaching call. Go ahead and tap into the Anton Daniels channel tonight. It's going to be popping. Let me read these super chats. No tickets do not cover both shows. There is 2 shows. It's going to be 2 shows for June 9th. Aaron says they squabbling over there. Yeah. Buck Nasty is in the building, says, now this just got interesting for me. Sam Saylor is in the building, says, I was giving this channel a chance, but it's starting to look like crabs in a bucket. Well, you're more than welcome to unsubscribe and then no longer give any more super chats in order to be read out loud. Shout out to Sam and Saylor for the fireball. Cliff Williams says, is this simp day? Adonis is in the building, says, this dude in the friend zone and hang with a couple of ladies he still can't hit. Ain't no dude with any level of game talk like this. He dehydrated. Also, Adonis says she is going to get her baby and divorce dude with money she been saving. Shaking my damn head. What if she tricked him to believe he is in charge? Chris says, a donation so homeboy can wipe his phone screen. Y'all wild. Adonis says, this scenario is tricking when you ain't got it. Y'all so hard. Slim Tebow says, listen to learn, not to respond. Sam Saylor also says, okay, it looked like you were allowing the show to be derailed by the caller, but I think that was a more important conversation for the audience. See, Sam, when you give us an opportunity to cook, you actually can get some value out of this, and the entertainment and the medicine to go inside of the candy. You know what I'm saying, Sam? You with us. Stick around, big dog. Slim Tebow says, and don't let my guy get Brittany Renard. Ronnie Robinson says, good morning, Mr. Hanton. Hope all is well. Beta male simps are almost worse than masculine modern women. We must hold each other accountable. AWOL is in the building, says, woes to say the next job not gonna stress his wife out too. Now she know he going to bail her out as soon as she run to him. That's a fact. Adonis says keeping a wife busy eliminates the boredom and they naturally get and avoids another man filling in that boredom. That's a fact too. Another man filling in that boredom. Avoid the ones that want fun over work. I feel you on that. John Doe says Anton versus Shannon. Anton wins. Flawless victory. Fatality. Shout out to all of my Mortal Kombat players. Cliff Williams says an award for Simp of the Year goes to Real is in the building, says stop the fight. Somebody throwing a towel for this young brother. Chris says, what the F is going on here? Gone Postal is in the building, says Anton, throw the flag in for bro, please. Greatness to Work says, controversial Shannon, I advise y'all to both stack together before your first kid comes. I've been married for 19 years like Anton. He is telling you right. Green Beret is in the building, says donation for the knowledge being dropped. Shout out to Green Beret. Greatness to Work says, I love this brother's openness. Good one to mentor under your wing, Anton. We need more young married brothers. He could use a little guidance, respect. That's why I liked him. I gave him compliments when he was up here. Adonis says, this was gold. Bring him back more if you can. Yeah, I think Shannon is cool. I don't have no problem with Shannon. Blaze Skywalker says, but didn't Buddy say it's always the man's fault in this video? He did. He did. We're going to give him a little bit of grace, though. Shout out to Controversial Shannon for camming up. I appreciate you, big dog. Brock says, pass a love offering. Great show today, just as always. And Silver Lion says, that's also so they can fit those split hooves in their shoes. Some other simps bought them years ago. Shout out to all of the people that saluted the channel. Shout out to all of my new Patreon members. Make sure you tap in. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Make sure you get your Teach Pack, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. If you got any other Teach Pack, cancel that shit and roll over what it is that we got going on. We going live tonight on the Anton Daniels channel, my other channel. That link is in the description. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I need y'all to do me one more favor before we get up out of here, though. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. We don't want to be successful by ourselves. I love you. I appreciate you. My ladies, I got y'all. I'm going to give y'all the game tonight on the Anton Daniels channel. Make sure that y'all tap in. And if you want to be able to have the conversation with me, cam up, and we going to get it. Y'all stay safe. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.